bought a house about 6 months ago in the height of the pandemic, summer of 2020, and just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about Jon Burden and how that process went along. We weren't really shopping for a house at all. A friend of mine had had a house burned down a year prior, and I told him, "Hey, when it's ready, let me know. We'd like to look at it." And he called me, and we went and looked at it, and it was just everything we wanted. It was really, really perfect. And he listed a price, and it was amazing. So, he's like, "Hey, do you have an agent? If you want to sell your house and buy this one?" And I said, "No, we don't." And he goes, "Well, let me get you in touch with my agent, who is Jon." And so I called Jon that night, and we had a nice long talk. I sent him some personal photos from the house we're in. He talked a little bit about the strategy he would like to use, which is basically underlisting the house and creating a lot of interest in it very quickly, because we wanted to move the house quick. So his idea to move it quick was to list it low and get a lot of attraction to it. And I tell you what, it worked. We listed the house at 160, and it was a Saturday at noon when the house went up, and the phone rang 7 minutes later, and he's like, "You got to get out. There's people in the neighborhood." And we're a family of four. So we got out, and my mom lives 6 blocks away, fortunately. And I don't think we went home for 2.5 days. It was nonstop showings. My phone would get he would text me about every 15 minutes. Tomorrow at 1, tomorrow at 2, tomorrow at 3:30, tomorrow at 4. It was nonstop. And we ended up with an offer quickly. And the offer came in at 187,000, so 27,000 over list. So it was just really amazing. And then I used him obviously to buy this house we're in now as well. And that process was also very smooth. That one was actually a lot easier because we knew the seller, and so that was all pretty streamlined. We did run into some issues with our house and selling it with the solar that we had on the house. And so there was a lot of negotiations going back and forth, assuming loans and this and that. And Jon and his team, I mean, you call, they answer the phone any time of night. Jon and I had several conversations throughout the process that started with what we're doing and ended up personal. That it kind of blows your mind, because it's so rare to have a salesman, because that's what a real estate agent is. They're salesmen. They're there to make money off selling and buying houses for you. It was just so rare to have an agent take that extra step on the personal level. I had some interest in maybe getting into the business, and that really triggered the conversation. And he, we had one talk that was like 90 minutes at night about this business and this industry, and how he got started and where it's going, and just it was really above and beyond. And that's something that, I mean, that's what I took away 6 months later. Thinking back, that's what I take away from Mr. Jon Burden is that extra personal level of interest. And that was really amazing. So I certainly highly recommend Jon. Using him, as he knew what strategy would work for my particular situation. He listened. That sounds so easy to do, right? But a lot of salesmen don't listen. They have their interests in the front of their mind and not yours. And that wasn't true with Jon. So I certainly highly recommend using Jon Burden in any real estate dealings going forward.